Alright, stop the music for just a minute. Hold on. Before we continue on with today's anime way, want to get some house cleaning work out of the way and some fan mail to respond to. Alright, well, first of all, I had a question from someone regarding the Sunny Strat interview. He's the voice of Krillin and director of Dragon Ball, and he was the voice of Tom from Toonami. What puzzles me is one of his videos is still below 500 views. Where are you people? Anyway, yeah, I had a lot of fun with him, and excellent. And yes, the shampoo hater, yes, that drawing is gonna get framed. But here was a good question that was asked. Why did I not ask Sunny Strat about Dragon Ball GT? Yeah, now you ask me that question. Yeah, now that I think about it, I wish I had asked him about that. Well, he was asked about Dragon Ball Evolution, which is far worse than GT. However, I won't lie, I wasn't a big fan of GT. In fact, I didn't even watch it much. Why didn't I ask Sunny Strat about GT or ask him this question or that question? Well, in case you didn't notice, I asked him a lot of questions, in so much I was almost pestering him. And it got to the point where I was realizing, gee, maybe I should let other people ask some questions. I'm kind of pestering him too much. I don't want to get him all ticked off and never come back to the con again. But it turns out he was really nice, and he even hung out with me and chatted with me some more in the dealer's room. We were, believe it or not, talking about finances. But yeah, I didn't ask him, and you know what? He'll probably say, "Oh, what's wrong with GT?" Because he probably, had a big role in it. What do you want me to ask him about GT? If it was up to par compared to the other, to Z, to Dragon Ball. I know GT was not a fan favorite, and neither was it mine. One of these days, I'll really talk about it. So that answers that question. Okay, Future Gohan, SSJ2. He said that he thought Toonami for sure was going to come back this Saturday, and pretty much I said, yeah, right. And I was correct. Instead, it was a special presentation. He assumed it was Toonami, when I said it's probably going to just be some live-action movie or something else. Actually, my next guess would have been Scooby-Doo, and that was correct. It's another Scooby-Doo marathon. Cartoon Network, what is it with you and your obsession over Scooby-Doo? Coming up, it's Scooby-Doo, followed by an encore presentation of Scooby-Doo, followed by an encore presentation of Scrappy-Doo. Gosh, do you have any idea how many other cartoons and animes there are? I mean, jeez. To Maya One Dog on Yudasa Yatsuro. Why didn't I think it went past volume 7? Well, I didn't read the manga, I watched the show. Why is it... I guess you could say, was it an underrated anime, considering it's from Rumiko Takahashi, creator of Inuyasha and Ranma One Half. And it's a very good, very funny series. I didn't even discover the show till like 04 or 05, after Anime Oasis, which is ironic what I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. Yeah, it's a good series. It's just underrated, like you said, underappreciated. The series is very old. I mean, it came out in the 80s, very early 80s. You can tell from the animation, but it's not my call. And one more house cleaning. I've been meaning to tell you guys this for a long, long time. Instead of emailing me through YouTube saying, "Hey, will you please watch my video? Will you check out my video? Will you please do this? Will you please do that?" May I give a piece of advice? Just give me a vid response. Believe it or not, unlike most YouTubers, I leave the vid response open. You don't need my approval. If I really don't like your vid response, I can always just take it down. And that's also to Seshomaru, who, I'm sorry, I did film a response to you. I was just too lazy and been too busy in June to upload it. And yes, to Seshomaru, good job for you. And to Seshomaru, I told him that he did better than me in the area of buying more anime and converting people. And for a while I was feeling guilty because Seshomaru was doing better than me, but hey, in June, guess what? I bought a crap load of manga and gave it to somebody as a gift. Well, as mentioned, I just came back from a big anime convention, and one of the best things about any given anime convention is sometimes you get to see anime that has yet to be released here in the States. For example, when I went to my very first anime convention, I got to see Blue Gender before it was released on Adult Swim. We got to see a sneak preview of it. Now, I know normally I review, Sailor Moon, Ranma 1/2, and Haruhi Suzumiya. Those are all animes that have already been out for quite a while, or that are really old. And if you are upset about that, then you're really upset that I'm going to continue to talk about Sailor Moon and Ranma in more detail, because I really like those series. But I figured just for once I would review an anime that you have not seen. I'm going to review an anime that has yet to be released here in the States, because the anime con I went to actually got a sneak preview of it. And that anime is called Katana Gatari. It's cute. It's a samurai. It's a fighting anime. It's a romance anime. And of course it's a comedy. Well, this anime is so spanking brand new. It was just released on Japanese TV last January, and it's still airing right now in Japan. It takes place after a great big war, and after the descendants of certain tribes have all gone off into isolations. So, two such descendants have decided to go off into their own ways. Shichika, who is a descendant of the Ryo-Koryu clan, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, his dad was a great warrior, and he built all kinds of swords. He built 1,000 swords for each individual warrior, and each sword had a special power to him. And 988 of those swords were destroyed, except for 12. The remaining 12 swords each have a very special, unique superpower. Yeah, I think you can see where we're going with this. A cute anime girl named Togame, who is pretty bossy, to tell you the truth. She's got this attitude. Anyway, she is the descendant of the other general warrior who, believe it or not, was an enemy of somebody she's trying to work with. She set out to find the remaining 12 swords that were missing with superpowers. Problem is, when she hired ninjas and samurai and bounty hunters and all that, they kept betraying her, or stealing the swords and keeping it for herself. Or kept stealing the swords and keeping it for themselves. She got so sick and tired of being betrayed all the time, she finally realized that the best solution was to hire somebody who wouldn't even care. So she goes to this deserted island, where a warrior named Shichika. And this guy, I gotta tell you, he's a lot like Goku in certain ways. He's Goku if he were like Kenshin. This anime is literally like a mixture of Dragon Ball and Kenshin. And that's pretty much what the main character Shichika is like. He's like Goku, he's kind of an idiot, he's all fight and rarely talks, but he's a very good swordsman, a very good fighter. Anyway, Togame comes over to his island to want to hire him, but of course he doesn't seek money value, he doesn't care about monetary funds, he doesn't care about things, and he's lived on the island his whole life. He has no idea what civilized life is like. Togame is also fully aware of this, realizing that if she really wants him to work for him and be faithful to her and do as she says, she realizes that the only way that Shichika is going to do what she wants is if, and I kid you not, this is the funniest line, I guarantee you this line is going to be best known in the anime world. I wouldn't be surprised if there were t-shirts of this. Togame, kind of an idiot how stupid she is, she literally commands Shichika to fall in love with her, because she realizes that if she just hires him, she'll just betray her and take her money. But if they're a couple, and Shichika's in love with Togame, he will do whatever she asks, no matter what, and he'll do all the warrior stuff. Just like any other relationship, am I right, men? Am I right, men? Come on, high five. It's interesting. Now, here's the thing about Togame. I better say this to get this out of the way. I know what you're thinking. She looks awfully moe to me. Well, both Shichika and Togame are the exact same age. They're both 20 years old. The reason why, and here's the ironic thing, is Togame's father was killed by Shichika's father in the Great War, which is also, again, it's kind of astounding. That's why Togame hired Shichika in the first place, because he is the descendant of a race that was so powerful to fight and win the war when they built the 1,000 swords. Biggest downside I can see from this anime so far is that there's a lot of talking. I mean, there's a lot of talking. Like, there's so much talking. Especially in the first episode, I was like, okay, get to the fight scene already. And sometimes even during a fight scene, they'll, like, take a break from fighting so they can talk some more. the thing is, the villains in this anime are already like huge. I'm actually upset that the first guy they fought died in the first episode because he was like so good. But like I said, I've only seen up to 3 or 4 episodes because then after that something happened at the con. But I will give you my early impressions about this anime in a very generic form. I can see this is definitely going to be a hit here in the States. As an anime fan, I've never really been a huge fan of the samurai anime. I honestly found them to be really boring, to be perfectly honest. But this one, I can hands down tell you I could really get into.